Hello and welcome to Funny Science Fiction, the live edition. Oh, music stopped. All right, I was dancing. No big deal. All right. All right. So, hey, welcome to the Funny Science Fiction podcast, our live edition. The podcast that makes 1,000 years in the stomach of the Sarlacc pit seem like a weekend at Bernie's. Because I believe in topical references.
I almost want to see that crossover now. And before we get into tonight's show, we need to say thanks to our show partners, River City Teas and Level Up Lightsabers.
First up, with that beautiful narration, River City Teas.
With over 700 designs to choose from, River City Teas has something for everyone. Need some new nerd merch? River City Teas has you covered. Need funny or sarcastic designs? River City Teas has you covered. Are you looking for a new logo or custom design? Whether you need 1 or 100, River City Teas has you covered. With multiple colors and options for each and every design. With things to choose from like shirts, hoodies, phone cases, coffee mugs, and so much more. Be sure to follow River City Teas on Facebook and Instagram. If you do, you'll get the latest on designs and information about upcoming sales. River City Teas. Let's make a shirt together.
Next up, Level Up Lightsabers.
Dead air is fantastic. We should keep that going.
Well, see, I'm just doing it because of the fun lightsaber. But anyway. Alrighty, and like every week, links for both of those can be found in our show notes and in the comment section.
And I actually, did.
I'm watching it, and I saw them pop up in the comment section. I'm very proud of you.
I'm proud of me, and I think that's probably the most important thing.
So,
because I'm smart enough, I'm kind enough, and dang it all, people like me. Because they're again topical reference Saturday Night Live from like the '90s. You're welcome. Shut up.
Yes, John, it is a wonderful Monday. I would like to think that I'm a bunch of raccoons standing on top of each other in a trench
life
coat.
Would make way more sense then.
But I think I'd rather be Trash Panda.
Ooh.
Well, there's always that.
So,
and
Tim,
we'll take a quick minute.
Oh,
go ahead. No,
I have decided, though, that I am a Sith. In the time I have been playing with my lightsaber, I've decided I am a Sith. Because Siths deal in absolutes. And I am absolutely adorable.
Oh, goodness. I should have seen that coming.
You're welcome.
I really feel like I should have seen that coming. Like, I knew that was on the horizon there. I kept seeing the hands come up. See, to say something.
Yeah.
I want to tell you something. Here come the hands.
I need you to know I'm adorable.
So there's dad jokes, and then there's Kathleen's jokes.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
No, mom jokes
so
are
there's
way
dad
worse.
jokes here, and there's Kathleen jokes. Mom jokes are just almost to dad joke level, but, So, as a reminder, yeah, I did have it coming. That's entirely true. I'm not even going to argue that. Oh, boy. All right, so... I want to remind everybody, you see the banner going across the bottom of the screen. Please take a moment to subscribe if you haven't already. If you're watching us here on YouTube, we certainly appreciate any and all subscriptions that we get. It helps us keep going, and it helps us in order to get more guests, not only here for the live show, but for our pre-recorded episodes that are released every Friday morning here on YouTube and your favorite audio podcast provider. I'll get that line out yet. But if you want to help support our show, help us continue to do this, some of these things take a little bit of money to do. If you want to help us and help us continue this efforts, you can buy us a coffee Nick was kind enough to put the link up there in the show notes for us. And you can go to that link, buy us a coffee, and that helps us to continue on. So thanks, guys, for any support that you give us.
If you buy us enough coffees, they can hire a professional co-host and get rid of this nonsense they have coming on right here.
And all three are fired and gone and done.
I just realized that it's John Was, not Jawas.
Who knows, though? John,
they're furry. They're friendly. You never know.
John could just be 2 Jawas in a trench coat.
Oh, boy. All right, moving on. So, and on that note.
And walk away.
And tonight we welcome Joey from So Wizard Podcast and Jake the Jedi.
How's it going?
What's up, everybody?
Hey, welcome back. You guys have both been here before. We're so glad to have you both back. Thanks for making some time for us. Appreciate it. So, hey, before we jump into tonight's topic, the reason why we have you here, take a minute, if you would, Joey. We'll start with you. If you would, tell everybody about your show, and what's going on over at So Wizard.
Yeah, I mean, what's going on, everybody? It's great to be back again here on the Funny Science Fiction Podcast. I am the host of So Wizard Podcast. We are a weekly audio podcast. Every week we are reviewing nerdy movies, TV shows, mostly focused on genre stuff. So your superheroes, your sci-fi, horror. And we're there every single week, all across your audio podcasting podcatchers. So come check us out. SoWizardPodcast.com is where you'll find everything you need to see.
Awesome.
There you go. All right, cool beans. All right, Jake, spill it. Tell them.
All right. How's it going? How's it going, everybody? Thanks for having me back. I appreciate it. If you guys want to follow me, it's Jake the Jedi on TikTok. I do lightsaber stuff, Star Wars stuff. I do it all.
Awesome.
He's being very bashful.
Really
My man spins a blade like a crazy dude. Pretty cool looking.
Thank you.
One day I'm gonna learn how to do all that stuff that
I'll teach you.
Without
I have one, but that's about all I know what to do with it is turn the button on.
I'll teach you guys. How about that? Good trade-off.
At this point, I'm like more afraid of hitting myself with the stick. I'd be like,
It happens. It will happen.
If you hit yourself with a stick, it's not like you're going to do any massive amounts of damage. It's just
this is where I wish I was in control of removing people from the screen, but I gave that power to Nick.
Why would you do such a thing?
Because I can. All right,
if you hit yourself with a stick, you're just in company with Din Djarin, so you're fine.
Well, that's true. He did hit himself with it.
I mean, according to certain game rules, it does like a D8 damage.
That is true. But I think that's actual ones, not plastic.
Oh.
I think the plastic only does a D4.
Just hit him in the face.
Muggle words. All right. So, like I said, we've got Joey here. We've got Jake here. And so yesterday was the Super Bowl. And during the Super Bowl, there are always a ton of, yay, sports ball. For those who enjoy the sports ball, I, for one, enjoyed the sports ball. But there was always a lot of commercials and always a good time to see new movie trailers. And so before we just start naming any of them off, I was wondering if there's any, and this is free for all, so just jump in. Is there one in particular out of everything that was shown last night or that's been coming up in the last week or two that has you particularly hyped to go see it in the theater?
Well, I think we can all agree. Doctor Strange. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy.
I'm pretty stoked.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was kind of let down. I'm not going to lie. I was waiting. I only watched for Kenobi. I was just waiting for it, and it didn't happen. So.
I wanted a Kenobi trailer. I didn't think it was going to happen last night just because they know they have a captive audience.
Right.
And, I don't expect, because I don't expect that to come out for a couple weeks yet. I think probably the first week of March we'll see a Kenobi trailer.
The one commercial that did have Ewan McGregor in it, I was like, that's not Tatooine.
Yep. I saw his face and I was like, no way. And then I was just
And you know that they're doing that just to mess with you.
100%.
Well, yeah.
What was that commercial for? What was that one for?
It's like a travel something.
Yeah, they literally are so smart for getting him to act in that, because I'm sure everybody was like, oh no, here's Kenobi, and it wasn't. So.
Yeah, it would have been funnier to see him in a desert, but yeah. And 8-Bit Ray is completely right. Yeah, you have people dissecting the shards in the poster. And I am so glad that people have that much time on their hands, because I was going through looking at all their videos and posts and all these articles today, looking at who might be in the poster, who might not be. Yeah. All right, 8-Bit says that traffic cone is from Into the Spider-Verse.
Totally.
Yeah, that's kind of funny. All right, I like that. Yeah. So I mean, if you look at let's talk Doctor Strange then. If everybody's on board with that one,
I'm cool.
So, out of the trailer, out of the poster, if you want to go dissect the shards, what has you hyped about Doctor Strange other than the fact that the trailer just was jaw dropping?
Excited for Deadpool's crotch in the shards of glass. Poster.
That is exactly what I was
most exciting thing.
Yeah, I saw that shard too.
Any snippet of Deadpool, though, we're gonna celebrate the snippets of Deadpool. But
yeah, I saw it on. So just typing in Doctor Strange, and looking up the cast. Ryan Reynolds is listed. They have Patrick Stewart listed. So I'm really excited about that. They don't have a full cast listing exposed yet. Just the people that cameos have kind of technically been confirmed for.
Mm-hmm.
And so those two have been confirmed, or loosely confirmed, but they've been included on IMDb, which is not always infallible. But
the Patrick Stewart Xavier. So we got that coming because we hear his voice. Yeah. So
I'm so stoked to have X-Men in the MCU.
So
not even gonna play.
One of the things that my husband actually brought up, but John brought up today, was that in the fractions in the trailer, in the alternate realities, one of them is animated, like the X-Men 97 animation, showing that they are bringing. And we have X-Men 97 confirmed already, but bringing it back and having our cartoon back makes me happy. Because I'm Wolverine.
Like I said, they're not infallible. IMDb does make mistakes from time to time. And a lot of that depends on the studio or who's inputting the information. So they're just a fancier Wikipedia. Let's be honest. If you're using just the base level of IMDb. Okay. Yeah, I think one of the things that I thought was kind of cool about the whole Doctor Strange thing is how it's also being tied into the What If series.
Yeah. Ooh, with the variant Strange.
You got the variants.
The zombies.
The zombies. There was also the picture of Wanda standing in front of what looked to be like the mirrored wall, which was what the Watcher stood on the other side of, and there was a really cool picture of them. I wish I had downloaded it and brought it up tonight, but But anyway, I didn't, so we're not going to look at it.
But you got you have Captain Carter too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm excited for that. I hope it's the actual actress that played Peggy, though. If it's not, I'll be kind of sad.
Yeah, I Haley Atwell. I'm sure she'd still be down to do it. I'm hoping so, because I can't see anybody else really being Agent Carter, Captain Carter. So
I'm excited for more Wanda. More Wanda in my life is definitely something I'm down for. I just protect her at all costs, please. It just looked a little injured at some points in the trailer, so back off.
You guys think she's gonna be the villain in this? I hear a lot of people talking about her being the villain.
Yes and no.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yes and no. I the one line from the trailer that's getting me is, she makes a statement, something to the effect of, is when I do it, I'm made into the villain, but when you do it, you're made into the hero.
Right, because in the trailer, at one point, Doctor Strange's magic is red, which would mean it's chaos magic.
Right.
But she also talked about Vision thinking about the alternate timelines, and I don't know. I'm excited. There's a lot.
It's. I feel like out of all the movies that have come out recently, we feel like we know a lot about it, but I feel like we don't. Like, I don't think people are understanding what's going on at all.
I think that they're giving us just enough to whet our appetites, but still leave enough of it up for speculation. And I kind of love that they're doing that.
I mean, it's also Marvel too. Hulk wasn't even in Infinity War trailer, so
right.
Or he was, and then he wasn't in the movie. So stuff like that. I never trust Marvel trailers.
This is exciting to think about. If they're giving us Patrick Stewart, then what are they holding back at that point? That's a pretty big guest star.
Exactly. So. That was something that John and Tim.
Yeah.
If they're showing us this, what aren't they showing us?
Oh, I love it. The KGB of movies. That's beautiful. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's so much that I think that they're not telling us. I think America Chavez has an amazing chance in this movie to be one of the runaway characters where, a lot of people don't know a ton about her, and her abilities and her capabilities, and to see, her come in and I think that she could really be a takeaway from this, because a couple of the things that I've seen is still shots and things. So she seems to be right there with Strange and Wanda through a lot of it. So I think we're going to get a heavy dose of her in this movie.
Unless they blew the whole budget on Patrick Stewart and we're getting like Coolio from the Daredevil's director's cut, Hulk TV movie Thor, and Nick Fury, David Hasselhoff. That's the rest of the Illuminati. That's all we could afford.
Don't you hassle the Hoff.
That's right.
I don't know. Does Disney really have a budget though?
No.
They make enough.
They shouldn't.
They make so much money off of us all. They've got plenty of it. It'll be okay.
Yeah, I'm curious to see who all is going to be in that room when Strange is standing there, in the shackles and who all he's talking to. And I think that we have an opportunity here not only to see X-Men come in, but I've been saying this since WandaVision that this is where X-Men and Fantastic Four come into the MCU is through the multiverse. And so really, really hoping Disney can't spell budget. So
I got stupid excited though in the trailer when they showed evil Strange. Like, I don't know why the evil variant of Doctor Strange made me as happy as it did, but it was that, there are so many fun things they can do with that.
When I first saw it, I thought it was Morbius of sorts. So I don't know.
I'm just excited to see him act both roles.
Right?
I hope we get a lot of interaction between the evil one and the normal one, because
I know that there is definitely the girl part of me that's like, oh yeah, more Benedict Cumberbatch, because why not?
Right.
There was also, it looked like in
What's
the
up, Jay?
trailer, there were Ultrons. Like
there were Ultron bots.
Yeah, leading him into the room. Yeah, I saw that.
I was like,
I mean, we did get Ultron in What If, so maybe. I'm thinking it's an Iron Man variant, but maybe. You never know.
It's entirely possible. I mean, it could be, I am excited that it's a Sam Raimi movie, so I'll give him that.
But if it's an Iron Man variant, does that mean it's going to suddenly be Tom Cruise?
Well, funny you should mention that. Funny you should mention that.
Oh, Jason and I are on the same brainwave tonight. This is dangerous.
I hate Tom Cruise.
Do you really?
Almost as much as he hates musicals.
I'm there with you. I don't like Tom Cruise very much either. So.
And happiness.
No. There's only been a couple movies that I can kind of stand him in, and even in those, it's in small bits of the movie.
Right.
Like I like Jerry Maguire despite him.
Right.
I
think he might just be too big of a actor. I think it might take away from the character for me. I feel like, I don't know. I just feel like it's not going to be and you can't compare it to Robert. So.
Kathleen, you should probably look up.
I'm ignoring him.
So that is not a selling point to me to have Tom Cruise in the movie or associated with the movie in any way, shape, or form.
It would be cute for a 5-second cameo, but I don't need to see him in an extended role at all. No thanks.
See, I want to see him. Like I wanted to see Jar Jar Binks in the Lego movie where Jar Jar got exploded. If I can see Tom Cruise get exploded on screen, I'm all for it. I will watch in the theater every night for a month.
Get me blackface Robert Downey Jr. as Rhodey, and that's a perfect variant for me right there.
Tropic Thunder, nice pull.
Yeah.
All right.
So speaking of Toms, Uncharted with Tom Holland.
Oh man,
I was gonna say, were you talking about John's list of things that Tom Tim hates? Because I'm thinking that Kathleen is quickly getting added to that list.
Look at that segue you just pulled off, Nick. Look at you go.
And then I vooped it back because I'm a jerk.
So
But
so
I think
Uncharted.
it's going to be nice to see Tom Holland in something other than Spider-Man. Just, I don't think, has he been in anything else?
You didn't watch Chaos Walking?
Apparently I didn't.
That'd be
It's
a
got
negatory.
Daisy
there,
Ridley in a
Ghost Rider.
terrible wig. It's great.
But
Yeah, John, I wanted to. Well, let's see. I hate Tom Cruise. I despise Elvis, and I despise musicals. So that would be hell in an afternoon for me. Absolute hell. It is the point. That's for sure. No, I'm curious to see what Uncharted does. I'm curious to see what the I don't know a ton about it. I've never played Uncharted. I'm an Xbox guy, not a PlayStation guy. But I know a bit of the hype around it, and a couple of my buddies are real big into the game, and they're really stoked about this movie coming out.
Right. When I got a PlayStation, it was for Spider-Man and Uncharted. Uncharted was good, but I don't know if Tom Holland's going to be able to pull off that character. I feel like, I don't know, I'm too used to seeing him as Spider-Man as like a kid, and Nathan Drake's supposed to be like kind of Indiana Jones-esque, and I don't get that from Tom Holland, so we'll see.
Well, hey, I mean, it can't be any worse than Shia LaBeouf and Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull. So, I mean,
I love Shia LaBeouf, so I don't know.
Hopefully, with Mark Wahlberg, we'll get some good vibrations out of this movie going forward. So.
I hope so.
I am loving the topic for it. This is awesome. All right, so there's that. How about Moon Knight? Anybody excited to see Moon Knight?
I'm excited for. I don't know much about Moon Knight, to be honest. I'm a casual fan when it comes to Marvel. I kind of just like enjoy it. I don't deep dive like I do into Star Wars, so I don't know much about the character, but it looks amazing. Plus, I'm drawing a blank on his name. What's his name? Someone help me out. What's his name?
Oscar Isaac?
Oscar Isaac. There you go.
go.
I was drawing a blank. Yeah. He was amazing as Poe. He was one of the selling points for the sequels for me. So
he's a great actor. I'm not going to sit here and pretend I'm this huge Moon Knight fan, that I'm like obsessed with Moon Knight and have long boxes full of Moon Knight comics. I loved him as a member of West Coast Avengers a million years ago, not to age myself, but it's back. All right. I loved him on West Coast Avengers, but I'm not going to pretend that I'm a huge Moon Knight fan. But, Marvel's earned the right to make whatever the heck they want.
Right.
Ethan Hawke certainly picks and chooses projects generally to be well acted, unless he needs to cash a check sometimes doing horror movies. So, I'm excited for it. I'm as excited as I can be for something I generally have no interest in. So,
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm the same way.
Yep.
Yeah, there was nothing about Moon Knight that I'm like, I want to see that. But
yeah, I could probably pick 50 characters off the top of my head I'd rather see in a TV series than Moon Knight. But I mean, I'm sure it's going to be awesome. So.
Would one of those 50 characters be Deadpool?
No.
No,
not a big Deadpool guy. Sorry.
Oh.
Really?
Right.
Yeah. No. But Night Thrasher, let me tell you. Yeah. Oh, yes, yeah, bro.
That's a coffee. Oh, goodness. But yeah, there were a few other things that were released that I'm excited about. The Lord of the Rings of Power trailer
Oh, my goodness.
is exciting.
Oh, my goodness. I'm so happy.
What you thinking, Joey?
I mean, it looked expensive. It looks great. Trust me, it looks fantastic. There's no issue with the way it looks. I just there was no hook there. There's nothing grabbed me. It was here's images of things you kind of like from Lord of the Rings. Here's some guy grabs a kid's hand. Watch it this September. Like, okay.
Do we know what it's going to be about? Like what?
It's
Rings, Lords.
Oh, yeah.
It's the prequel. So it's the creation of the Rings of Power.
I heard it was 1,000 years before the movies.
That's pretty interesting.
I was hoping it was going to be all about how Aragorn should have went out with Eowyn instead of Liv Tyler, but I think that's just my own personal fan fiction at this point. So
I'm sure there's other versions of that fan fiction somewhere.
I'm not going to Google it. I'm definitely not Googling.
No,
it,
you could Rule 34 that really fast.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to go down that road.
I will definitely say that show definitely grabbed my attention just based off the not the trailer that just released, but their like intro.
Mm-hmm.
It's not CGI. I'm into that kind of stuff. Like I watch Corridor Crew on YouTube and stuff like that. So all like behind the scenes stuff. And the fact that wasn't CGI blew my mind.
So I have a couple qualms. So Amazon did Wheel of Time.
Mm-hmm.
And I did enjoy the series overall. There was just certain spots where I was like, the quality seemed a little low.
Yeah, we talked about that when we reviewed it. There were certain episodes where it felt like they spent their whole budget, and then later on in the series, all of a sudden we were Xena Hercules level of special effects.
Right.
Which is not the worst.
I feel like we're going to get the same kind of thing with the Lord of the Rings as well. I'm not overly familiar with that part of the Lord of the Rings era, so I'm like you, Joey. Nothing actually was like, ooh, other than the theme of it.
I have to say though, the comment that you popped up about that John had posted about his massive geek out over the Rings of Power thing was freaking hilarious, because my husband is running my mother-in-law through like the what happens in Silmarillion, and I'm like, you can't find the bread that's on the counter, but you can remember all of these plot points from a book that you read years ago.
Well,
Do you know our daughter's birthday? Do you remember our wedding anniversary?
Negatory.
The wedding anniversary one, I'm sure he will comment on it. He remembers our wedding anniversary.
Now he's on the spot. He's got to comment it at this point. You know.
Unless the toddler is screaming at him.
John, you're on the clock. Just want you to know. All right, so I assume we're talking about the Rings of Power, because my camera decided to do the shutdown thing, which is always awesome during a live show. So, all right, so I'm actually really excited about the Ring of Power. I don't know a whole lot about the pre-era of the Lord of the Rings stuff. I never really read any of that. So, but I love Tolkien, and I'm really excited to see this come out. I am afraid, though, that it's what Joey was saying, that we're going to get some really cool special effects, and then I'm going to see an awful lot of Hercules and Xena. So he's not wrong.
You did really good, John, right here. And then...
Yeah,
that's genius as far as I'm concerned.
It was the day though that one of his friends came over to our apartment, and he's like, his friend asked for the Wi-Fi password, and he told him, and he was like, because it's our wedding anniversary, and I'm never going to figure out our Wi-Fi password. When he literally wrote the wrong date on our marriage license, but he's never going to forget his Wi-Fi password. It's been 7 years, and he's not living that crap down.
I don't care what he say. That's brilliant. All right. Have we gotten into any of the DC stuff?
No.
I was gone for a little bit. I was gone for a hot minute. All right. So what are we thinking about Batman?
The Batman?
The Batman. With coming up with Robert Pattinson.
The Batman?
I am
the Batman.
Cautiously optimistic?
Yeah.
From what I see, I'm relatively surprised.
Same.
The only thing I know of him was Twilight, and
So not a fair assessment because that sucks.
It's not.
So,
Yeah. No, he's a good actor. He's been in a lot of indie stuff since Twilight, washing that Twilight stink off. I mean, he was great in The Lighthouse. He's a really good actor. I'm excited for him as an actor in this. My concern with the Batman really is just what this movie looks like. It doesn't look like a 4-quadrant blockbuster pleaser for the entire family. I don't know how many people are excited about a 3-hour long riff on Batman meets Saw and what's the other 7. I don't know how well that plays with everybody. Right. It could be a great movie, but I don't know how it's gonna play with the larger audience at large. So
it is definitely one of the I will watch it when it's available for me to stream on HBO when
45 days.
Do we know if it's gonna be a tie-in to anything, or is it like a standalone DC film?
They're saying it's standalone only, which was even funnier when they released that whole commercial of like the universe, blah blah blah, and they show all the DCU movies plus the Batman, but the Batman doesn't tie into anything. So,
I feel like theming wise, it's probably gonna fit well with the Joker movie.
Back up the Brinks truck to Joaquin Phoenix's house, and he can make 55 more movies about falling in love with his cell phone after that. He just has to show up in Batman 2. So.
I'm just excited that it's going to be a little bit darker because like the games are a little bit darker than the movies, and I don't know. I feel like Batman needs to be that like grounded movie compared to everything else.
It needs to be gritty. It needs to be dark. That's who and what Batman is. It doesn't need to be the 60s version.
When was the last time we saw a fun Batman, though? When was the last fun live-action Batman we had? That was what, Batman and Robin in 1997?
No, that wasn't fun. That was the nightmares.
But at least that the sensibility.
That was my nightmare hellscape. Batman with nipples.
Nipples.
Yeah, I don't ever need to see that again.
Honestly, looking at the casting for the Batman. I mean, I knew about Colin Farrell being Oswald Cobblepot.
Yeah, the casting's great.
But I had somehow missed Andy Serkis as Alfred.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's weird to me. I don't know how I feel about that.
I'm intrigued. It's either going to be really, really good or really weird.
So finally, a movie with Andy where he's not fully or partially CGI'd. So he's going to be great.
That's true. That's
fully or partially CGI'd in 13 going on 30. And he does a fabulous rendition of the Thriller dance.
Never seen that movie. I'm going to take your word for it.
I will send you just the Thriller dance section later.
Jennifer Garner's never looked better, so.
Right? I totally have plans
Electra
in August.
That's funny in the comments, man. Said Alfred should be an ape.
That's our Jason.
I am excited for another opportunity for Robert Pattinson to not be Edward. Like, so much.
That was his Twilight name, right?
Yes. Edward Cullen.
Yeah.
Like, because those movies are horrendous. They are absolutely awful.
They really are.
The books were kind of terrible anyway, but they steered so hard into the soap opera teenage drama skid with the movies. It went badly. It went very, very badly.
So you're saying it should have been on the CW?
Yes.
No, it was too good. CW is too good for them.
Maybe their CGI baby will show up in the Batman after that scene.
Oh boy.
I mean, like there are aspects of the Twilight story that I know that Stephenie Meyer was completely like she was trying to be funny about, and then it didn't work, and then people took it too seriously. But when it's in the final book movie when Bella's pregnant and she's craving blood and they put it in a styrofoam cup with a bendy straw because that's going to make it somehow easier for her to drink. I'm like, no, what level of dumb is this?
It's Twilight level.
It is.
Twilight level. Yeah.
That's the new low level.
That is the new level.
It is alcohol poisoning if you play the drinking game level.
All right. So, any other movie trailers before we move on to anything else that anybody's excited about?
I was really excited about Jurassic World.
Jurassic World, yeah, including the people from Jurassic Park. I think this is, from what I understand, this is supposed to be the conclusion of all of it.
It's supposed to be the last one.
supposed to be the last one. So, and if that's the case, I don't believe it. That'll be the last one because this is a money-making gold mine for them. If this is truly the last one, though, I think it's really smart to bring in, Sam Neill. Yeah. Sam Neill's character and Laura Dern's character and Jeff Goldblum's character. Bring those guys back into the, So I'm excited for that.
Jurassic Park, the multiverse.
I did get pretty excited when I saw that Laura and Sam were in it and Jeff, because I was like, I feel like they were my favorite of the characters. And
I literally squeaked though when there was a herd of Parasaurolophus because they're the best and they're underappreciated, and it made me happy.
Telling you, multiverse, it's happening.
I don't believe it's the last one. I will be shocked. I'll be surprised if it's the last one. But still, that's funny, Jay.
Well, I mean, with having Camp Cretaceous on Netflix, they're not going to be done.
No, there's too much money sitting around.
They can do.
They're gonna Fast and Furious this thing so hard.
Don't say that. Don't ruin more movies. Come on.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I know we got our Jeff Goldblum fans. You guys ever been to a MegaCon?
No.
So I used to work it's like a smaller scale Comic-Con basically. I used to work for like the autograph lines, and Jeff Goldblum was at one, and a bunch 30 people in the blow up T-Rex suits all ran past security and all ran right up to his table. They didn't stop and talk to him. They just did a whole line right past his whole table, and I was right there for it. It was so funny.
That's awesome.
That's funny.
Pretty sure they got picked out.
His reaction?
I couldn't tell. There were so many dinosaurs in front of me. I couldn't even see him. There were so many. It was insane.
Yeah, I need somebody to dump trucks with money. Oh, no.
I mean, there is the Dino Trucks series also on Netflix, so they could go Fast and the Furious and Jurassic Park and
get some Dinobots or
go with some Dinobots.
Get the Dino train involved. Everything's going.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, let's get away from that topic. That's
completely off the rails.
All right. So one of the other things that finished up here recently was the Book of Boba Fett. So overall, let's talk about the finale of the season of the Book of Boba Fett. Where did it leave you guys? How do you feel about this?
Wait, ready?
Are you looking forward to a season 2?
Oh
ready
boy.
For this?
Oh, no.
Try spinning. It's a good trick.
Oh no.
Always a good trick.
It cracks me up that so many people are
mad about
worked up about the fact that my dude's Scad spun around. I'm like, have you never watched another Star Wars movie ever?
Exactly.
They spin in lightsaber fights when clearly the other guy, if he just stood still, would cut him in half. I mean, there's no point to the spins. That's
what I'm saying. All the lightsaber TikTok people, everybody's go-to move is the Obi Annie. So in Revenge of the Sith, when they do that little behind the back move, that's everybody's go-to move. It is completely unusable in a real fight. So
right. Yeah,
it is what it is.
Be dead.
So like the comment said, the Book of Grogu, 100%. There is a theory that all of these, that the Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett are leading up to Grogu. That this is all Grogu's backstory. And I am all for it.
I'm down for it.
All hail King Grogu of Mandalore.
I'm down for it.
100%. I am on board if that's where they go with this.
I was slightly disappointed we didn't get Grogu with the Darksaber. Because I was like...
Not yet.
Not yet. He will get it when the inevitable happens to Din Djarin. But...
Hey, don't say that.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's Pedro Pascal. He's going to forget to keep a helmet on again, and his head's going to get crushed again like a watermelon, and we're all going to cry.
Yep. More this time.
More than we did in Game of Thrones.
All right. So Joey, what is your takeaway from Book of Boba? Thoughts moving forward?
I mean, who knew that the way to make the show actually interesting and fun to watch was to turn it into Mandalorian season 2.5? After, I want to say, what was it? When did Mando show up? Like episode 5?
Yeah.
So
Episode
yeah,
5,
I mean, after 4 episodes of Boba Fett walks into town to one of the same 3 sets, nothing happens, and he turns around and walks back home and sits on his throne for an hour. I was kind of checked out. I've said this before. I don't know what I want from a Boba Fett television series. It certainly wasn't that. But I have no idea what I would want from one. I just wanted something more than Boba Fett walks around and does nothing. The flashbacks were awesome. I liked watching him with the Tusken Raiders and everything. It was just the modern, present day stuff that was pretty brutal to watch. It was just not interesting at all. And eventually it all came together at the end, thank God. And I had said that after episode 4, I was like, they have 3 weeks to knock this out of the park, or this is a kind of a disaster at this point. Mm-hmm. And thankfully they did, but that involved also bringing in characters from all other television shows. So
right.
Can I bounce off of Jason's comment here?
Yeah, do it.
He's basically saying people aren't, or they're mad. I said this in the last podcast I was on with you guys. He really didn't do much in the original trilogy. So I went into the Boba show, I think, with a different mindset than a lot of people. I was just happy we're getting something Star Wars. So, besides episode 3, it was a little slow for me, but all the other episodes, I felt like they were good backstory. The only 2 problems I had with the show as a story point was that there was no bigger power for the enemies. Like, it was just the Pikes. Like, come on, there's got to be someone else. Like, I was really hoping for Crimson Dawn, and then they really missed an opportunity with the end credit scene. It was super pointless in my opinion, but that's the only 2 issues I have with the show. Everything else was amazing in my opinion.
Like the end credits scene, I understand why they did it, but also they could have given us more.
Well, my thing with that end credit scene is like, okay, so we're gonna see Cobb Vanth again, right? But why couldn't they have just shown him again when they're gonna show him with the mods or whatever, and been like, hey, yeah, I survived because I got mods? Why did they have to show it? Like, waste the whole end credit scene, you know what I mean?
Right. I feel like it was just that they were trying to fill in why Boba had said that the Bacta tank was occupied. But I feel like in that moment, they could have like flashed to it, gone back, and then done something better in the credits scene.
Like they could have done Mando season 3 after credits. They could have done like a Luke after credits. They could have done so many other things. But
I was hoping that in the after credit when it started, I was hoping that it was going to lead to something for Mando season 3, or that it was going to have something for Ahsoka. That we were going to be able to look forward to, because having seen Ahsoka in the Book of Boba Fett, that something there was going to, because my immediate reaction was much like yours, Jake, when he said that the Bacta tank was in use. I immediately assumed it was Chrysanthemum.
Well, he said during the episode after Chrysanthemum was hurt, was like, hey, I owe you some time in the Bacta tank. So like, why did he not get that? He was just fine. He was just fine after.
Yeah. So no. Negatory. So I think a lot of it for me is I like the show. I enjoyed it for the most part. There's a few episodes. I'm with Joey on this. There's a couple episodes where I was just like, yeah. So we're walking again. I loved the Tusken Raiders bit. I love the fact that we got to see more of them than just guys who stand on the hill, shaking their
screaming at
their gaffy sticks. Yeah, that noise. So I was actually pretty good there, bud. So for me, I was excited about that. I was excited to see some backstory. I was excited to see, how, even though those only for like 2.5 minutes, how he escaped from the Sarlacc pit, all those things. But I was hoping that episode 7, the season finale, was going to have a little bit more of a payoff for how we were moving forward, because we have a kind of like it's a really crappy cliffhanger for as much as I enjoy the show, and I will plop my chubby butt down in front of my TV next season when Book of Boba Fett season 2 comes out, and Mando season, the official Mando season 3 comes out. I'll be there for that. It's going to happen.
I think I would have rather have seen either Cad Bane in the Bacta tank or something with Thrawn.
That's a good.
Well, see, because I didn't think Cobb Vanth's injury was significant enough to be in the back to tank
Yeah,
because
it looked like he got hit in the
shot.
shoulder. Yeah, it never looked like he needed to be put in the back to tank. But I mean, this is the Marvel-ication of Star Wars at this point. Everything is this character showing up from this thing that you remember from this thing, and this character coming in, and everything ties together again. Nothing is its own set story anymore. So
right.
Thank God we had Grogu and Mando in waiting to save the season, but it would have been nice to just have a story about Boba Fett, and then that's that.
And I feel like season 2 is going to be more Boba Fett. That this is the Book of Boba Fett, but it's like the prequel to your Book of Boba Fett. Like,
right? They were trying to use
pull too many things in at the same time.
Yeah, and they were trying to set up stuff for Mando season 3, and I think even loosely a little bit with the conversations between Luke and Ahsoka, they were trying to set up a little bit for what Ahsoka's going to do on her show and what's going on over there. But I think that the mark was over here, and they went right past it. Especially with season 7 or episode 7, rather. Excuse me. I really like the show. I enjoyed it. I will always take more Star Wars content. That's.
You guys really think you really think there's going to be a season 2 though? I almost don't think there's going to be a season 2. I think it's just going to be Mando. I don't think it's going to be another Boba.
I don't know.
I think he might just be part of Mando's TV show from now on.
It might be, and the Book of Boba Fett may just be a one-off to kind of give him a little bit of story, right?
Right.
It might be just a side story. This might be their new model where it's a season of Mando and then a spin-off season. Next time will be Ahsoka, and then a season of Mando, and then next time will be Cara Dune.
They better not do that.
Right.
If this all goes back to setting up for a Grogu story, then that would make sense that they're getting all of the back characters together so that the book of Grogu makes sense.
Right, because look at it this way: the first couple episodes of Boba, especially the first episode, was fan service. That was to help us as fans who have been waiting for this for 30 some odd years to see the things that as fans we wanted to see out of Boba Fett. And then again, we went back to fans. Yeah.
Standing around. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. And then and then episode 7 went back to fan service where he got to be the big shot that we saw him to be or thought of him to be all these years, where this guy who was a ruthless fighter, which we didn't get to see a lot of in Book of Boba Fett. We saw a different side of him, which I'm okay with if they would have set it up a little bit better instead of just him walking around trying to gain respect by paying off people's water bills. So
people stealing people's staplers.
Yeah, I think
exactly
that scene in episode 3 needed to be a little more risky. Like another one of those giant lizards or something attacked, and he saves the kids and the water guy as well. I don't know.
I will say though, it was still better than season 8 of Game of Thrones. So they at least went over that bar.
Actually, I saw a meme the other day, and it made me laugh because for a while when everybody was really upset about the ending of Game of Thrones, there was the picture of the horse in the first few seasons. It's drawn really well and very detailed and intricate, and then as it got later into the list of seasons, it was like a stick figure pony at the end.
Yes.
And they showed the Book of Boba Fett. The first episode was this really well drawn horse, and then there was this stick figure horse in the center, and then episode 7 was like the horse that you hide in the barn and don't show anybody. It was I found it pretty.
That is funny.
Again, something I wish I would have downloaded and showed.
I do feel though like
there's that.
Like 8-Bit Ray said with it's Bad Batch to Clone Wars, that it is just backstory. It's just a side character, and
I mean it can't be all fan service, Some people are always going to be unhappy. Like I personally, like I said, enjoyed it just because it's Star Wars content.
Right.
Could they have done stuff different? Yeah, but you can say that about really anything. I mean, other than No Way Home. No Way Home was like perfect, but
like somebody the other day was comparing the Book of Boba Fett to like the Book of Mark. That it's not about Mark, it's Mark writing it, So I feel like it's that similar. This is the book of Boba Fett. This is what Boba Fett wrote about Grogu.
Interesting.
Or about Mando. But
that's why I said that I don't think there's going to be season 2, because at the end, Boba goes, I don't think we're cut out for this life, right? So I really do believe, because, Boba's got the mythosaur.
That's true.
He's always been associated with that symbol. I really think he's going to go within to whatever's left of Mandalore. And,
and if that's why he's got
a
Banth in the back to tank to have him end up taking over for him, which would be fantastic.
So I think we're going to get like a Suicide Squad type thing. We're going to get Boba, Din, Black, Chrysanthemum, Fennec Shand, and then whoever else we pick up on the way, I think that's kind of what they're going for.
I'd be okay with that if they leave Cobb Vanth behind to have him be the daimyo. That would be fine.
Makes sense.
I'm a little surprised that we all weren't like, of course Grogu's going to choose the chainmail, because that was the whole reason why people watched season 1 and season 2. It's like
I don't know why people even thought he was going to get the saber, to be honest.
I was hoping he was going to take the chainmail and like force pull the saber, like, this is mine. I'm taking them both.
Fight Luke and kill him.
Right. Like, how hard would it be to take down creepy CGI Luke? Not that bad. Anybody could do it.
Oh, that would be kind of cool. I think it's a shame that politics got in the way, and now we don't have Cara Dune's character, because I was actually really enjoying her character by the end of Mando season 2. Honestly, I don't care what she was doing off screen. On screen, I really enjoyed. I don't think Gina Carano's the world's greatest actress, but I think she was pulling off this role pretty well. Yeah, it was fitting for her. So
I don't know. I'm like you said. I hope we get some stuff about Ahsoka soon, because with Kenobi coming, I'm excited. Obviously, everybody's favorite 2 characters, Obi-Wan and Anakin, but Ahsoka's mine, so I'm ready for that.
Right. Well, they did make did you see the announcement of Ray Stevenson? I think his name is, joined the cast. He's going to be a villain, but he's not. They're saying clearly he is not Thrawn, but he is going to be one of the villains of the upcoming season. So he was the guy, I believe, in the Punisher Warzone movie. He was the Punisher. So he's a big dude. He was also
in Thor.
Sorry. Yeah, I was going to say he was also Thor, the big dude in Thor. Not Ray Stevens, Jason.
They confirmed that Hayden Christensen's going to be in Ahsoka as well.
Yeah, for flashback type stuff.
100%. We're getting Force Ghost talking to Luke and Ahsoka. I'm calling it now.
Right.
I want to be able to come back to this podcast and watch myself.
Right. Like I've seen the pictures, the fan drawing of Ahsoka and the Force Ghost of Anakin after he goes back, and she's like the super sweet reuniting moment of her and Flyboy, and I'm like, I want that. I want to see that moment when she realizes that her best friend is okay. Like,
he's back, yeah.
I want Force Ghost Kenobi from Return of the Jedi to kind of just be like pissed off and be like, hey, I was a good guy the whole time. I was on the light side. I helped hide the kids. And now I'm an old guy forever as a ghost. And this guy was evil. He killed younglings.
Can we?
Then he came back as himself as a teenager. Like, why didn't I do that then?
He did, however, bring balance to the Force.
That's right. He did.
I mean,
maybe people see the Force Ghost different. We'll never know, but maybe they see them how they want to remember them.
There you go.
And I would love to see Ahmed Best get some redemption. He had an opportunity as Kellen Rand, I think it is the name for that kids show, as a Jedi. But I would like to see him something on the big screen or on the Disney-ish screens where Ahmed gets a little bit of recognition for his contributions to Star Wars. Because whether or not you like Jar Jar, he did not deserve the crap he took from the fan base. He's a good dude.
Jar Jar had his purpose. Jar Jar served his purpose.
I was a kid when those movies came out, so I didn't mind Jar Jar.
Exactly. That was the thing, and so was I.
He was supposed to be a Sith. Anyway.
But even in what he ended up being, he served his purpose. He was an intriguing character to little kids to get little kids hooked on Star Wars so that then those little kids become adults who buy lightsabers. It was brilliant marketing.
Well, it's like, one of my favorite interviews out there, and he doesn't do very many of them anymore, is with Freddie Prinze Jr., talking about how people need to remember that Star Wars was made for kids, for 8-year-old kids. New Hope, that's what it was made for. Mm-hmm. And then Empire Strikes Back was made for 10-year-old kids. Return of the Jedi was made for 12-year-old kids. And people forget that these movies were made for kids. They have a kid's sensibility to them, and we're not always going to get, even though there are some adult themes to it, clearly, that it's not always going to be
sand getting everywhere.
Yeah, sand getting everywhere. Exactly. It's coarse. It's rough. It gets everywhere.
Sorry, that's like... People always make fun of that scene, and it is a badly written scene, but I also know plenty of people who actually flirt like that.
I'm just glad Hayden's getting better recognition. I remember growing up, he was always kind of hated on for his role, but honestly, how do you play a character who goes through so much and you're not kind of whiny? You know what I mean? He really does go through a lot. But with that being said, we'll go back to Kenobi. I am so convinced that he is the most. Everybody says Qui-Gon's the best representation of a Jedi, but if we're going off of Jedi order, I'm going Kenobi, man. He went through
strong Kenobi just
as much as Anakin, with Satine and then losing Anakin and all this stuff, and he stayed in the light the whole time. He never even got close.
I actually have a Kenobi theory in connection with Satine that I was talking about the other day that made me happy and also really sad. That if Satine's nephew is actually Kenobi's son,
oh, he is.
That the reason, which he totally is, but the reason that Obi-Wan was so willing to take Anakin's kids and protect them was because he didn't have the opportunity to do that for his own child. He's stepping in and taking care of his friend's kid because he couldn't do that for his own. And in realizing how wrong the Jedi Order is after what the Jedi did to Anakin.
I'm just surprised he didn't notice that sooner because, Qui-Gon knew it. He was just trying to figure out a way better than Dooku did because Dooku just, kind of left.
Right.
Qui-Gon was trying to fix it. Dooku kind of just left to try and redo it. So, I don't know. I'm surprised Obi wasn't more like Qui-Gon.
And if you watched the Clone Wars, you also know why Ahsoka left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's why she's my favorite.
Right.
She did what Anakin and Qui-Gon and Dooku did, but the best way possible.
Right.
Without becoming something else.
Yeah. She stayed towards the light for sure. All right, guys, we are running close on time here. So before we start wrapping things up, and thank you for being here tonight, guys. Really do appreciate it. Joey, again, if you would remind people where they can find So Wizard.
Oh, man. SoWizardPodcast.com is our hub for everything out there. That's links to all our social media, the podcast every week, all our YouTube video content. It's all there on SoWizardPodcast.com. So come on and check us out. We're going to be reviewing Uncharted in a couple weeks. We're going to be reviewing Book of Boba Fett this week. We got The Batman and all sorts. I have the whole show planned out through August. So we're ready to rock and roll. Episode 400 is coming up really soon. So good times. Good times on the way. Come join us.
Yeah, they've been around for a while, so they got some good stuff over there. Go check them out.
It was the everything planned out till August. I'm like, I don't have the rest of the week planned out. I
don't have a life.
Well, there's always that. All right, Jake, remind the folks about the things and the place and the stuff.
All right, guys, I'm on TikTok, Jake the Jedi. If you guys know who Level Up is, and I'm sure you do, you're here, so you know who Level Up is. Go check out my TikTok. I'm doing a giveaway for this saber right here. All right? So go follow, go like and comment on that video, and you will enter into the giveaway.
Which one is that?
It is the Xenopixel. So the good one, the best one.
The good one.
So the pin video in my profile says giveaway V2. Go interact with that video and you enter in for the giveaway.
Nice.
How many times can I enter?
As many times as you want, especially if you post in my hashtag, Jake. Wait, what did I name it? Jedi Jake's lightsaber. Go post a video in that hashtag. May give you an extra chance of winning.
Nice. There you go. All right, cool. When's the? Hold on, 1 second, real quick. When's the deadline on that, so people know when it's all going to go by?
I decided not to go with a date per se. I went with a follower count. I want to be able to like grow a community, and I've already done one giveaway. This is my second one, so decided to go a little bit bigger for a little bit better prize. So at 15K, and we're going pretty quick. It's only been up for about 5-6 days, I think, and we already went up like 200-300 followers. So
awesome,
nice, well done.
Thank you.
All right, Nick, hit him with it.
So last Friday, our guest was Carrie Jones, the man behind Black Chrysanthemum. Carrie has an impressive list of credits on both sides of the screen. Not only has he helped us all meet a Wookiee bounty hunter, but he's been in the special effects department in so many movies, bringing these shows to life. And you can still find that episode of Funny Science Fiction on our YouTube channel and your favorite audio podcast providers.
And remember that your subscription to our YouTube channel is a major help. So please remember to click the like and subscribe as you watch the videos and share them. Make your friends watch them. Real friends make their friends watch podcasts. All right. This week, our guest has been, well, she's pretty cool. She started her career as a young lady in the show on Disney, but she didn't stay there. It's safe to say, this cat grew up and got her own claws. It's a lot of words.
Yeah, so we have Cameron Bicondova coming on the show this upcoming Friday. She got her start in a little show on Disney called Shake It Up, but we most know her obviously from her 100-plus episodes on Gotham as Selena Kyle, playing Catwoman, the younger version of Catwoman. So we had an amazing chat with Cameron. She's a lot of fun, and that'll be out this Friday, so you guys will be able to check it out, of course, here on YouTube, but also on your favorite audio podcast providers as well. But, if you don't watch the video, you're going to miss a lot of fun stuff on there, too. So that's what we got upcoming. So if you haven't watched already, you're going to want to make sure you check those out. And then, of course, a couple weeks back, if you haven't watched it, there is the Sam Witwer interview that is still up, available for you to watch and enjoy. Yeah, that was a good one. That was fun.
It was amazing.
Execute episode 66.
He said it way cooler.
He says it way better.
He did.
It gave me goosebumps. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, hold 1 second.
Hey, this is Sam Witwer. Welcome to the Funny Science Fiction Podcast. Execute episode 66.
I'm always going to sneak that trailer in whenever I can. It's just fun to watch.
Because it's fantastic. It is almost as fantastic as that man's cheekbones.
Exactly.
He does have nice cheekbones.
It's insane. Like, every time that picture goes up, and I'm like, it's not even real.
I'd have to give up my man crush of... who was that? I don't even remember anymore.
Wow.
It's obviously a very deep and strong portion of your life that you remember it so clearly.
I just struggle with I never outgrew my baby fat, and he's got whatever.
All right, guys. Well, that's our show.
Thanks for stopping by, everybody. Thanks to Joey from So Wizard. Thanks for Jake the Jedi from TikTok. Please, guys, go check out their stuff, what they're doing. You guys will not be disappointed. Each of them has some really amazing content. I'm a subscriber. I'm a follower.
Thank you.
Check them out. All right, guys. That's the conclusion of Funny Science Fiction Podcast. Goodbye. On behalf of the rest of the hosts of Funny Science Fiction, we'd like to thank you for listening to this episode. If you'd like to be a guest on one of our future episodes, please contact us by means of our Facebook group, Funny Science Fiction, You can find us on Twitter or Instagram using the handle @FunnySci-Fi, or you can go to DraytonAllen.com and click the Contact Me link at the bottom of the page. Thanks again. Hope you enjoyed the episode.